Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and on this reading I'm using the Radiant Rider Waite. You can get that anywhere. And the Maybe Lenormand. I think you can get it pretty much everywhere too. And I'm going to change up Trump's reading quite a little bit, and I'm also going to lessen the frequency. Because they seem to keep saying the same thing. Right? It's all about the money. So I'm going to start doing like early week, midweek, and then weekend reading. So I'll do three times a week. Unless something pops up in the news and we want to read specifically just on that, then I'll definitely do that, like I did yesterday. And then also, because I want to devote more time to your viewer questions, which I have piling up, and I don't like the way that feels. I want to get to your viewer questions because you guys ask such good questions, and I really, I want to honor that. And I especially appreciate all the donations. My goodness, you guys, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Large or small, I love them all. Okay, and I'm going to shorten the reading a little bit too, so we don't have 7 cards. And I'm going to draw all the cards at once, and then I think it'll make the reading shorter. And we'll go from here and try this out and see how you guys like it. And if you have any suggestions about it, let me know that too. I'm always open. Okay, so with this reading for Donald Dump, the man we have dumped, the man the voters have dumped, it's going to cover, early. Well, we're already past Monday. It's gonna cover like Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. So November 24th, 25th, and then I'll do one after that for the midweek. So let me tune in back into him. Okay, so with the Lenormand, these 2 cards will be the forces in motion. And I'll do 2 for the challenges. And 2 for what he's doing. I don't really care so much about what he's planning anymore, because he's insane in the membrane, he's crazy. he's nuts. So what he's planning most likely is maybe not a good thing for us to follow too much. Okay, and then the next card will be, instead of his karma, because we know his karma is just, trash, whether or not he'll be successful in what he's doing. And then the last 2 will be for his future. Okay, now I'll do the same thing with the tarot, and then we'll put them all together. Okay, forces in motion, his challenges, what he's doing, whether or not he'll be successful, and his future. Okay, so let me get them positioned here. Hold on, scooch things around a little for a moment. And I'm going to go ahead and just lay them all out at once too, because I think it might be helpful to see the relationship between the cards. So this way, something like that. And this way. Actually, we're going to have more room, so I'll let go of my, what was it somebody cracked me up? Obsessive card control or something like that. Obsessive card disorder. No, obsessive card distribution. Wait, too many cards, right? TMI. Okay, so forces in motion with the Lenormand. Ooh, so we have the, these 3 cards about what's really going on. Okay, well here, let me get them laid out, and then I'll get into my oohs and ahs or whatever if I see any. Okay. All right, and then here, stars in the whip. And here we have the stork and the anchor, and clover and the handshake. Okay. All right, so now I know it looks like a lot of cards at once, but I'm going to break it all down, so don't worry. I'm hoping this won't be, you know, an overwhelming amount of information all at once. Actually, I could do it this way. No, need a little more room for closed captioning there. Okay, that's good there. Okay, so with the forces in motion being the Knight of Cups reversed, it's not a good offer. What's going on, what's really going on, is he is making offers that are dark, to say the least, manipulative. You know, he's been deceptive, and of course he's been cheating. This is a card of cheating, you know, in relationships. If you guys ever are looking at that in your lives, this would be if you get the Knight of Cups reversed, it's about dependency, codependency, and cheating. Let me feel into what else this might be for him. Now, I think it's just his deceptive news cycle that he's been putting out there, and he's been using the government resources. You know, of course he's been, well, he had 31 lawsuits going on, and many of them, like especially in Georgia, I think the taxpayers paid for that. And you know, there's, you know, Governor Kemp that's looking to maybe like try and reverse the votes, but he called for an audit of the votes, so that's like the second time, I think. So taxpayers pay for that. And this is, so the forces that are in motion is all his deceptive ways that he's trying to get what he wants, and how disappointing it's been, because he's had 31 lawsuits and he's lost them all. Or he's lost at least 30 of them, and maybe there's one still hanging there. But because of course he had no evidence to support, his attorneys, you know, basically just got laughed out of court. So for him, this can be kind of a heartbreak card, but it's because he's been a cheater. And it can also be the card of bad news for him. And this is because we can rely on the institution of the Constitution and the institution of our government, and it's actually one of the blessings is that every state has its own excuse me, little Supreme Court, or I shouldn't say little, but every state has its own Supreme Court, and every state has its own, you know, laws, and they're all different. Now the swing states need a lot of work there. I mean, definitely things need to be changed there, but we do have that order. This is a card of order. It's also a card of, you know, your honor. Well, his honor is trash. We can see that right here, and that's what's really going on. And so the government will uphold its order. So I think that's clear there. I don't need to say anything more. His challenge is that his ruthlessness with the King of Wands reversed, is that, you know, he's not in power anymore. He's been voted out, and he's going into his lame duck session. So he's not in power anymore, but yeah, he's ruthless, and he has been bullying, and there's going to be a surprise for him, because his offers, this is going to also be offers and surprises, or offers as well as surprises. It's not going to work out for him. And I say that because I can see these other cards up here. But what he's done he's tried to use, like his executive power. He's tried to use his strength. He's going by Putin's playbook. This is the Putin card as well in the Lenormand. This is Putin. Both of these cards are Putin. And the challenge is that Putin's rules in Russia don't work for America. So remember that, little stumpy dude. Next time you try and interfere. And we could also say that the surprises that Putin tried to, implement in upending our democracy have not worked. So, because these are all, these are challenges. These three cards are not in a position of strength. And with this card being reversed, it makes it, doubly that same message. The ruthlessness of Putin's playbook and his offer to, to Donald to do it, do it my way, I'll show you how to do it. It didn't work. And it's not going to work because this is the challenge. So with Donald Trump, with what he's doing, well, with the Three of Cups reversed, that's another cheater card. It's Mercury in Cancer. It's also the card of, overindulgence, drinking, hangovers. And with the added information of the Lenormand with the stars and the whip, it's just widespread abuse. So what he's doing is cheating on our free and fair elections. He's been cheating, and it's widespread abuse across all the 50 states. And it does affect the rest of the world as well, because we are, we have global connections. Whether, his followers want that or not, that's the way it is, and it's only going to become more and more like that as we evolve and we, it's good for us to keep our own manufacturing in our own state, and it's good for us to not get lazy and farm everything out to China, but we have relationships with the rest of the world, and that's not going to change. Now, whether he's successful or not with the Five of Wands reversed, of course not. He's not going to get to the top. And the only change, well, wait, hold on, let me dive into this card more. This is like trying to, it's too much of a struggle, and it's too much of a fight. It's just a battle, it's just a war. But not a well thought out war, it's an impulsive war. At least with the Five of Swords, there's been some, there's been some strategy. As far as success goes when you get this card reversed, it's just, in order to have success, when you get this card reversed, you have to have teamwork. You have to have compromise. You have to be willing to, have a solution that brings in some harmony. And he would have to change his entire, goal, his entire game plan before that would happen. And in the future, this is the government coming down on him. Now, he does have the opportunity for, he does have some people that, that want to keep him in power, and they want to stay in power. And what I see because of these cards here, that's because they're also compromised by Putin. These are the GOP senators. There were 15 of them, remember, that went to Russia. Senators and congressmen that went to Russia. Thune was one of them. Of course, Lindsey Graham. Google it. Just Google it. You'll find it. I think it was July of 2019. But just Google it. Don't put in a date. Just put, 15 senators that went to Russia, and see what comes up. And of course, go with the reputable news sites. But my goodness. So that's So the future is this issue. This future is the future for him. We have to remember this is all about him. Is will he compromise himself? Will he get in alignment with the government? Will he, will he be in this like status quo, which is what the rules are all about? Will he commit and conform to the Constitution? Because the Constitution, notice, see the keys down here is very symbolic or important symbols about this card, because it's everything to do with the keys of the kingdom. And the keys of our kingdom, it's not a monarchy. It's not a dictatorship, Donnie. It is the Constitution. And all these GOP senators that have colluded in their risky ways and have, taken his hand to get in bed with Putin. There's a circle here, Putin and these GOP senators. That's the question is, and I'll have to do a further reading on that to see like who will be exposed. But that's the future here, is that we're going to see who's compromised and who's not. Who has actually committed treason against our Constitution and who hasn't. Because we are, a law of, the Constitution is for we the people. It's not for the one guy at the top. Now, on another level, we could see this. If we go out of the realm of just him and we say, okay, what else could this be? This could definitely be opening up to at least 2 more amendments that we decide to add to the Constitution. It could also be different things like creating laws that we actually use. As far as like subpoenas and all the, things that were not utilized that should have been utilized in the beginning. For him to resist a subpoena, and all these other senators and GOP congresspeople, and David Nunes, all these other, Don Jr., all of these people who were given subpoenas to show up. We had none of that during the impeachment trial. So these are laws that need to be changed, and then we also need, that presidential powers limitations. That there's the Presidential Crimes Commission, and then there's another one that Eric Swalwell has been working on. But there were others prior to even him bringing it up. So there's a lot to be accomplished in the next 4 years, 5 years, maybe even going beyond that. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so I'm going to close this up here, except for to add, if you guys, any of you who are interested in astrology, I recommend Yvonne Davis. Her channel, her YouTube channel, because she's done so much incredible work on the election, but she's been looking forward into the transits, the astrological transits that are happening for our Constitution. So she's done one on the USA chart, and then the USA, birth chart, natal chart, and then also the Constitution. So I'm going to refer you there. If you're interested in astrology, if you can follow that along. She's really good. And even if you can't follow, or even if you're not interested in astrology, you'll still get the message. You'll still get the message, so because she's really, really good at defining what everything means. And I appreciate the way she doesn't use she simplifies the terminology, is what I want to say, so that it makes it really easy to follow for anyone. So, okay, well, I'm going to close this up, and I'll be back to answer some viewer questions. Okay, thanks, you guys. Take good care.